Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? We are only 2 days away from Christmas. Yes, 2 days, and only one day away from Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is the big 2-4. And I have some pretty crazy news about the stimulus. We have some more controversy. Donald Trump is talking about vetoing the bill. Yes, after all these negotiations and all this time, we finally have a bill, and now it's going to be vetoed. Huh, how ironic. Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure a lot of people are aware, but for all the people that aren't aware, Donald Trump, the president, any president that's in office when there's a bill being created and voted on, is in communication with both parties, the Senate, the House, both sectors of the government, as well as both parties in both sections, the legislative as well as Senate. He's in communication with them both because it ends with him. So obviously they need to have a say. He needs to have a say and let them know that what he's willing to sign. And so, as well as he's even tweeted to the whole damn world, tweeted multiple times stating that he wants $2,000 checks. The first bill they offered when they came back, the second stimulus bill, which was the first one they offered on the second one, the Republicans wrote, and it was only $500 with no stimulus. That's the one they wrote, and they tried to get it in, and then didn't even pass the House, and there was no stimulus checks in that one. And then Dems wrote a bill, the second bill written on the second stimulus. The Dems wrote one, and that had $2.3 million in there, and it had $1,200 checks or $2,000 checks. And guess what? They blocked it. Yes, it was blocked. How about that? And then what happens? They come back from Thanksgiving and they decide to do a bipartisan bill where they both negotiate and create a bill together. And it took a while, but they came finally together and they finally worked it out, talked it out. It took a long time, way longer than it should, but that's what happens when people that never been in a struggle or around a struggle are negotiating and making very important, vital decisions regarding people's lives and livelihoods. And so, yeah, that's what happens. And while they finally came to an agreement and they came with $600 checks, Trump was not happy with it along with a lot of other wasteful spending, which I'm actually in agreement with. Where they have millions upon millions of dollars in there going to other countries for aid for other countries. Millions. Meanwhile, they're only offering us $600 checks. Can you believe that? I can't even believe it. It's a slap in the face for the amount of time they've taken for what they're giving us. And then Trump wants to go and play this political game where he wants $2,000 checks. You're stating this now again to them that you're not going to sign it? Why didn't you state before while they were creating this and they were taking the time? Tell them that you're not going to sign it again. Make sure they're, understand it because you've said it multiple times. So I don't know why this is even being played. They know that you wanted $2,000 checks. I don't understand why they were even able to write the bill without asking you what you're willing to sign they do. They ask him what he's willing to sign. They were in communications with him all throughout the talks. They know that he wanted $2,000. And what it is, it's a political game to make people frustrated and to be able to support Trump more. It's to improve his look. It's to improve your view of him, to like you. If he's wanting a $2,000 check and gets you a $2,000 check after there was only going to be a $600 check, of course everyone's going to love him for that, But what they don't realize is that they blocked the $2,000 check already. When Dems blocked the Republicans bill that didn't even have a check for us, they wrote their own, and they had in there $1,200 or $2,000 checks, and Republicans blocked that. And that's why they came together on a bipartisan bill they wrote together. And that's just shows you right there. We've wanted a $1,200 or $2,000 check. Trump's wanted one. So why did they now write one in there for only $600 and then Trump says he's not going to sign unless it's $2,000? That's a political game for people that don't really watch close and don't really pay attention, don't understand politics, and catch all them people and catch all their votes for in support for next time, because he's thinking about running in 2024 and he's still trying to steal this election. So that's getting people support, because he lost a lot of support throughout these last 4 years and he didn't even have the majority of support. He lost the majority vote. So then when you lose even bigger this election, yeah, he's trying to do anything he can, play any type of political game he can to, win people's freaking support over, win over their confidence. And to veto it, they'll call his bluff, if anything, because he isn't going to veto it, really, because he don't want to leave that bad of a taste in people's mouths leaving the office. He don't want to leave. He said, well, I guess if they don't have $2,000 checks in there, I'm not going to sign this. I'm going to veto it, and the next administration is going to have to pass a bill. And he said, and then he goes to say, which might be me. So he's still trying to steal the fucking election. And then on top of it, he thinks that people are going to really support him if he vetoes that. He ain't going to veto it, because he knows the amount of people that he has left that support him, the very few people that are left that support him, he's going to really piss them off, because he's not even going to pass the $600 check. We need at least that. And so, yeah, he's crazy. Well, there's also the whole thing where they have majority of the vote pass a certain percentage, so they're able to even veto him. So I guess we're gonna get to at least a 600 no matter what. But to be in the Dems and even a lot of the Republicans want the 2,000 vote, I don't think they're gonna veto him unless McConnell doesn't want the $2,000 checks, because it's pretty much on him and what he wants, because all the rest of them want it. So. And they shut down the 28th, which is not that far away. It's 5 days away. So what is that? Monday, Tuesday? The 28th, they're done. Monday's the last day they're in. I don't even know if they're in there. I think they might be out by the 28th. It might have been. But, yeah, they know that. They really know that if they're going to get the bill re-voted on and the checks processed and if they want this new $2,000 check to be re-voted on, and they want it to be the checks to be processed and out to the people, they know they have to make a decision now, soon, today, by tomorrow at the by tomorrow. Like, I don't know if they're even gonna be able to do it, even if they do it Monday. I don't know, because they have to vote on it Monday, if anything. And we're supposed to be getting checks by next Friday. We're supposed to be. So how are you going to do it if you have to vote on it still next week? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then he goes and pardons these people that have done unimaginable things. People that have lied and broke the law. Lied to the FBI about his whole scandal. His whole quid quo pro. The guy quid quo pro to get in there. And then he did it again, and then he had people lie for him, and then he pardons them. So immoral. So immoral he is. It's just sickening. I did a pros and cons. In 2016, I had high hopes for the guy. I was very positive about the guy. I was going to vote for him. I didn't know nothing about Clinton besides one alleged thing, which is an alleged Benghazi story that she had. That's the only thing I knew about her, is her alleged Benghazi stories, which was negative. That's the only thing I knew about her, besides she was Clinton's wife. And, besides that, I didn't know nothing. So I loved Trump because he was a businessman. He wasn't your regular politician. He was new. We needed help like that. We were going to have a new perspective in there with business. I loved it. And then I started hearing these things about him, these crazy things. And so I was like, damn, what? So I was like, okay, now what do I do? So I thought about it, and I came up with a factual pros and cons list on both candidates, and then decide. So I went down with a pen and pad, took a pen and notebook, and I put each candidate's name on top of a piece of paper. So Hillary Clinton on the very top. And then I separated the paper and I put pros on one side, cons on one side, and then I divided it again and put past and future. So I did her pros with her past pros and then her future pros. What she did that was good in the past and what she wants to do in the future that's good, that I'm in agreement with, that I believe in, and then her negatives, her cons. Her past cons, what she did it bad in the past that I didn't believe in, and then in the bad, what she's going to do in the future that I don't believe in, that she wants to do it. I did that. Then I did it with Trump. And when I was done, I was completely disgusted with him. And I would never vote for the guy in my life. Ever. Never. I would never even friend the guy. He's a horrible person and even more of a horrible businessman. He's the overall conclusion of him. He's grew up in a wealthy family that his grandpa and his dad built. His grandpa and his dad built a real estate business, a very successful one. Trump when he was out of high school, the Vietnam War was going on, and when you're at the time when you got out of high school, you had a physical in case you went into the war and you're gonna, and he was cleared for the physical, and then they had the draft where they had to go to war, and all of a sudden he had bone spurs then, and he couldn't go. So he cheated our country with the Vietnam War, and then he went to work for his daddy instead, failed in numerous projects, real estate projects. His dad said, "We can't do this no more. I can't do this. You got to go off on your own. You got to find your own way. You cannot keep doing this." He failed in multiple projects they had, and so he let him go off on his way. He failed some more, and he came back to his daddy crying, "I can't do it. I need help. I need a loan at least. I need a loan." His dad borrowed him more than $1 million. People say it's $1 million loan he got. They borrowed him more than $1 million. And then what did he do? He went and he continued on. He went into Manhattan area and he went into other areas and he went into small projects, little projects, like he would buy an apartment building, one apartment building, and rent out apartments. He would buy a little thing so he wouldn't fail. And then what he did, he kept doing that, and then his dad passed away, and he inherited a bunch of money, a lot of money, and his business. And what he did is he used that money to do big deals then and to buy businesses that were already successful but just needed remodeling, that were outdated. Successful companies that were making lots of money, that had been making money, he bought them, and then he remodeled them and updated them, and then half of them went bankrupt because he made them all fancy. And then after losing all sorts of crazy money and going bankrupt over and over, what he decided to do is he started licensing his name that his grandpa and his dad built. Because other people wanted to come in and do projects, buy businesses, start building apartments, building casinos, building resorts, building complexes. And so he decided, well, I'll lease my name to you because I have this huge name that my dad and grandpa built. And so that's what he did. He made a lot of his money on leasing his name out that he didn't even build. And after going through everything and seeing all the negative things he said, womanizing things, I'll grab you by the and all these things he's even admitted to, and sexual abuse cases and allegations and racist situations he's been in. And I just was disgusted with him. And there's numerous things I haven't even mentioned that would leave you disgusted too. And just after everything, I was like, this guy did nothing, absolutely nothing great on his own. And everything great he has was just from money that he was given. Anybody with that type of money can make them type of business moves. Those are regular, average, no thinking type of moves. He did nothing great. So, I did that even again in 2016. This year with Biden and him, I gave him the respect, and I did another pros and cons to see what he did again, what he's got so far, and it was even worse. He did nothing, and the only thing that did happen was he gave the wealthy the biggest tax break in American history. The biggest tax break in America's history he gave them. Why? I wonder where most of his campaign money came from. Huh. Can you say quid pro quo? Huh. Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, that's just ironic, and that's the whole thing. Our government and our economy and our country is not going to be fixed until we fix the problems. We need to fix the problems. We can't have, and I'm not putting it on the Republicans and Trump, because it's not all one person's fault or one party's fault. It's everyone's, everyone has a part. Everyone, is responsible, and in one way or another, and the Dems they're almost as responsible, not as, but just almost, and they get lots of money donated, and they get a lot of persuasion as well from money, and it's just shouldn't be like that. There should be no exceptions. No type of decision should be made, and no type of support should be made based off of financial situations. And that's why things are corrupt, because it's all on greed and selfishness and politics. And it's just ridiculous. So that's what I'm saying. But the good thing about the world and our country nowadays is there are so many people in it. That means there are billions with a B, billions of people in the world. That means there are millions with an M in each different thing of life. Millions of people like each different thing, like every single thing. Millions of people that watch everything, buy everything. Millions of people buy each type of thing. Millions of people buy chargers. Millions of people buy laptops. Millions of people buy wood. Millions of people learn this. Millions of people learn that and that and that and that. Millions of people watch that. Millions of people watch, eat, listen, do, buy every single aspect category of life. That means any single passion can be a business. And what you do is you sit in a quiet area with no one around and sit very quiet and peaceful and think about who you genuinely are, your past, where you've came from, what you have done so far, and what you are doing now, and what you would love to do in the future. And think about that in that quiet area, that quiet room, and think about what you would absolutely love to do as much as you possibly could. And whatever it is that you would want to do as much as you possibly could every single day, that is your passion. And what you do is you work on it. Take that action no matter what. Oh, how do I do this? How do I that? What if I don't have this? What do I don't have that? What if I can't do that? Just do it. Don't think about all them things. Just start it. Just start it and tackle each one of them things as you go. But trust me, just start it. You're going to want to just start it. Just do it. Just take that action. Just get out of your stickiness, your day-to-day stickiness, and just take that action and start doing what you love. And do it. Work on it. At least 1 hour to 2 hours a day. 1 to 2 hours a day, 2 to 3 days a week, and record yourself whatever way you're most comfortable recording yourself, whether it's writing it, talking about it, or video recording yourself, or just two of them, just writing it in audio, or all three, or one, whichever way you're most comfortable, because whatever way you're most comfortable, you're going to want to do it the most. You're going to do it your best, and record yourself, and then post it onto at least 2 to 3 platforms a week. 2 to 3 platforms. Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. LinkedIn and TikTok are key, but you should also be on Facebook and YouTube. So try to do 4. Try to do Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. Try to do 4, but if you can't, just do 2 or 3. I say TikTok and LinkedIn are key because their algorithms with their natural reach are the best. You can reach thousands of people on every post. You can reach a lot of people, right away, and you can build really nice because it's still new, but it's really popular. And so, yes, Take action and work on whatever it is that you love, whatever it is that you want to do as much as you possibly can, and do it at least 1 to 2 hours a night. At the least, you can do it 3-4 hours because you're going to love it. You're loving it. You love to do it. So it's not like it's work. You're not going to go to work and be like, oh, I got to come home and do more work now. No. Take your time, eat something, relax, have dinner, go to movies, do whatever, and then do it. And because you're going to do what you're doing what you love, so you're not even going to notice you're doing it. It's not going to be work because you love it. And then, so work on it at least 1 to 2 hours every day, 2 to 3 days out the week. At least 1 to 2 hours a day, at least 2 to 3 days out the week, and record yourself, whatever way you're most comfortable doing it, whatever it is that you're doing, write it, talk about it, video record it, or just 2 ways, or 1 way, or all 3 ways, and post it. Post it on 2 to 3 platforms at the least, preferably 4, but at least 2 to 3 platforms, 2 to 3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a week. So post it on just as many platforms, just as many times a day, just as many days a week as you work on it. Work on it at least 2 to 3 days out the week and post it on 2 to 3 platforms, 2 to 3 times a day, 2-3 days a week. And you will build. Trust me, you will build it. And so what if it takes you 6, 9 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years even? It don't compare to doing something you don't like for the rest of your life. Have patience and have commitment. Patience is vital, because if it's taking you forever, that means it's going to be great, because nothing great comes overnight. Anything great takes forever. So if it's taking you a while, just remember always that that's because it's going to be amazing. And just stick with it. Just continuously be consistent. Be consistent, have patience, and have commitment and dedication. And if it takes you 6 months, a year, 2 years, or even 5 years, doing something you love on the side for even 5 years, to have your own business doing something you love for the rest of your life, don't even compare to doing something you don't like, being somewhere at some job you don't like for the rest of your life for 20, 30, 40 years. It don't even compare. And if you don't even try, that's even worse. Because regret now is nothing like what regret is in the future. Regret now is like a sprained ankle. Regret when you're older is like breaking both your fucking legs. Regret now doesn't hurt nothing like regret will hurt like when you're 60, 70 years old and you didn't even try to do what you love. You didn't even take an hour or 2 a night, 2-3 times a week. That's gonna really hurt. And so just try it. Because I'm telling you, if you try it and you stick with it, just an hour or 2 a night, 2-3 nights a week on 2 to 3 platforms, you're going to build. There are the number 8. There are 8 billion with a B, billion people in our world. And guess what now? We have access to them all, or majority of them. There are over half of the people on each one of them platforms. There are billions with a B on each platform. That means you can reach every single one. You can reach billions of people. You have a huge consumer base. And like I said, they're all watching each thing. They're all wanting to learn each thing. They're buying each thing. They're talking about each thing. Trust me, you will build it. We need to start choosing happiness over money, passion over whatever. Because whatever your passion is will make you more money than the number one thing out there making money. Because you will work harder at it, you will work more at it, and you won't even realize you're working at it. And stop buying dumb things. Stop buying dumb things. Don't buy anything you don't need after Christmas. Come January 1st, make that your resolution to never buy no dumb things no more. Nothing you don't absolutely need. And do that for 1 week and then 1 month. And at the end of that month, see how much money you have. And I'm talking about nothing. Don't go out to eat one time. Don't go out to the movies. Don't buy no electronics, no clothes, no lottery tickets, nothing. Only pay your rent or mortgage and your bills and buy the food that you want to cook at home. Nothing. No out to eat, no movies, no electronics, no clothes, nothing. Don't buy anything you don't absolutely have to have. Food and bills and drink. That's all you need. And do that for 1 month. And when you, at the end of the month, you see how much money you saved, take that amount and times it by 12. And that's how much money you will have in 1 year. And at the end of that year, take that amount and times it by 5. And in 5 years, that's how much money you will have. People wonder how all these dreamers, people wonder how they come over here and have all these gas stations and how they have these restaurants and manufacturing companies and businesses. How do these Arabians own all these gas stations? How do these Arabians, these Indians, these Chinese have all these restaurants? Because they don't buy dumb shit for years. They're so humble. They buy what they need for 5 years and they save their money. And in 5 years, they have these huge chunk of money, all these thousands of dollars, and they take it and they invest it in something that's going to improve their life. They don't just blow it. They use it for a down payment on a business, on a house, on a car, on their business. Trust me. Stop buying dumb things, people, and stay consistently clean. Consistently clean. That means every single time you come out of a store, out of a gas station, you sanitize your hands before you get back into your vehicle. And at the very least, before you get back into your house. Every single time. Else not, you're transferring all them germs and possibly that virus all throughout your vehicle and your house. And take off your shoes every single time at the door because you're doing the same thing with that. And then consistently sanitize your touch things and touch spots. Yes, touch things and touch spots. You know, your keys, your wallet, your cards in your wallet, your pocket knife, your purse, your makeup. Throughout this pandemic, I have learned how nasty people really are because I've been very clean throughout my life. So I've been talking a lot about this and asking people about how when they sanitize their things. And some people have never even sanitized the cards in their wallet or their wallet themselves. They've never, not once, sanitized their keys or their wallet or the cards in their wallet or their pocket knife or their gun or their phone. Like, what? You didn't sanitize your keys? Your wallet, your makeup? How many times did you touch that keypad in them doors? Come on, guys. We have to stay consistently clean because that's the only way we're going to beat this. And so, yeah, and also stay positive. Never, no time ever, negativity is going to help the situation. So please, just be positive. Be kind. It is cool to be kind. I promise you. All right, guys. I'm out. I'll be at you guys again soon. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you guys have a great holiday. Spend some good quality time with your family. Be kind. Be polite. Chase your dreams. Be consistently clean. Be patient. I love you guys. I'm out.